right down the road, seeing a lot of Houston fans taking on Duke, who has been the highest rated team that we've seen in a long, long time. The way they are just absolutely obliterating any and everybody in their path. And Houston, in a lot of ways, you could say is going to be their toughest test yet, because of just frankly how tough they are. How does this go down? How does this go down today, Matt McCall?
I think the biggest concern for Houston is, can they score enough points? Because I think Duke's going to be able to score against their defense. As good as Houston's defense has been all season long, and it's been absolutely outstanding, this is not a play-calling game. And what I mean by that is John Shire is not going to be standing over there calling 3 spread or 4 slice or whatever his actions are called. This is set a ball screen, get 2 on the ball, throw out of the trap, and go make a play. This is a playmaking game. And who has the best playmakers in the country, a collection of the best playmakers in the country? Who has positional size? The Duke Blue Devils. Right. Nobody has it any better. So I think the way that Houston plays on defense is going to benefit Duke. I really believe that they have the best playmakers, and this is a playmaking game. This is not a play-calling game. There's no ball plays in this game. This is a playmaking game.
Yeah. I think
Gator Nation is everywhere.
I think he's a Gator fan.
Gator Nation is everywhere.
I think he's a Florida fan.
I think I went to college with that guy.
John Henson. Showing love with the jello shots.
The thing that
Chapel
you mentioned
Hill
about the traps on the ball screens, right? Can you just talk a little bit about how
do it live on air?
How different it is what they do when they're guarding ball screens versus other teams in college basketball?
Yeah, it's just he has this saying. He calls it the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
And you have to be above the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
He uses a football term to talk about how they're guarding pick and rolls. That's what he does. He uses a football term. That's how aggressive they are. That's how physical. But go back to Braden Smith in the Purdue game.
Yep.
Braden Smith's poise, Braden Smith's size
really good.
Almost advanced them to the Elite 8. Zakai Ziegler, not as big, not as poised, struggled. Not pick and roll oriented.
Yep.
Tennessee's not a pick and roll oriented team. That played into Houston's defense. Duke is a pick and roll oriented team. And again, this is a playmaking game. And when Proctor gets trapped in a ball screen, you know who he's throwing it out of in those traps?
Man.
A guy by the name of Cooper Flagg, the best player in the country.
I think one of the keys to this game, sorry not to cut you off, Matt, but will be, like you said, Samson, you know, they're coming to get you.
Coming to get you.
They are coming
and they're
to
not
get
changing
you.
what they're doing in this game.
They are absolutely not. But with the amount of times, Proctor will be good because he'll be able to see over the defense, especially when he's in that 2-man game with Flagg. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Flagg is the primary ball handler, because they run a lot of stuff at the end of the clock as well too. With him on the point and getting the ball screen, so you know they're gonna jump him and kind of trying to live with the results of the guy that he's throwing out of the trap to.
Well, the other thing too is, Jarrell, we don't see Cooper Flagg post a ton.
Do not.
We don't.
We do not.
But if Duke runs some actions to get him in the post, what's Houston going to do? They're going to double him.
Trap it.
Cooper Flagg, 6'8", 6'9".
Yep.
Cooper Flagg leads Duke in assists.
Yep.
So when you come trap, the ball's coming out of those traps because he's a really good passer. Now you're in rotations. Go make a play.
The thing that really makes me nervous about this is that I thought Purdue showed they had the perfect game plan for what you can do to counteract that style of ball screen defense. And they did 2 things. One, they started out and they had Caleb First out there with TKR. And what Houston did is they help off the 4. They trap the 4-man, gets in front of the rim, and they just ignore the 4-man and then just say, we're going to be able to rotate fast enough that we'll get there on a closeout, because you're going to have to throw a loop, come off the ball screen trap. You're not going to be able to throw a crisp pass, right? You can't. There's no one you could double off of.
Right.
If they're setting the screen with Malawak, there's no one you could double off of a Duke.
Right.
You're going to be leaving a 40% three-point shooter open. When Purdue made their run, they brought in Cam Heidi. He knocked down a couple of those threes, right? The other part of it is they started doing they would set the screen and disengage, and they throw those little pocket passes right away and get TKR on the short rolls.
Yep.
You know who's the best player in America in the short rolls, making a decision in like a 4-on-3 advantage? Young man by the name of Cooper Flagg.
That's my point. It's not a play calling game. It's a playmaking game, and they have the best playmakers in the country.
I might steal that line. That's a great line.
And
did you come up with that yourself?
I did.
I don't mean to break up the coaches meeting here, but I do think that when you look at the games that Duke has lost, there's a common theme. Duke Kentucky, Kansas, and Clemson all had bigs that could shoot. They all had bigs that could step out and bring Malawatch out of that paint, right?
Yep,
Obviously,
that's a good
Kentucky
point.
had, Amari Williams and Brandon Garrison. We know Kansas had Hunter Dickinson, and Clemson had Shefflin and Victor Locken. Houston does not have that guy. I mean, Juwan has been incredible at turning himself into an offensive player with that push shot. But Kaman Malawatch is going to eat that up. Like, I just don't see how he gets
To
shot
me,
off.
the only way Houston wins this game is if they get way more possessions. Can they get 8 extra shots? Can they just dominate the backboard and get 8 to 10 extra shots over Duke? I think that's the only way they win.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say, I think the key to the game is going to be the physicality. A ton of that is going to kind of be determined how the game is called, too.
Yes.
Houston's
Great
shot,
point.
for me, is doing what they do, staying true to it, and just trying to disrupt everything Duke does, starting with the physicality, start leading to the ball pressure, coming to get those guys out of ball screen situations. They're going to have to try to rattle Duke. Duke is too good to really man up for them and beat them on a talent-to-talent basis any other way.
Two matchups that I'm looking at specifically. Cooper Flagg defending Juwan Roberts. That's what the matchup's going to be. Duke does a lot of switching, but that's how it's going to start.
Yep.
Juwan Roberts is big. He's physical. He gets to that left hand. He's got that. I don't know what you call it, a runner, a jump hook, a floater, but he gets to that little left-handed shot off the glass. Can he get Cooper Flagg in foul trouble? Because if I'm Kelvin Sampson, that's one of the first things I'm trying to do is try to get him out of the game.
I think Cooper Flagg is ready for that shit.
I do too.
I do. I think he's going to relish that.
I do too.
'Cause Duke's defense doesn't get enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets a lot of love, but it feels like it doesn't get enough.
But Juwan Roberts is also 23.
No, you're right.
Fifth-year senior.
It's a big test.
Tough, physical.
It's a big test for
The
Cooper
other
Flagg.
one, second half against Alabama, John Shires looked at Mark Sears and said, "You can't guard us," and they went at him every single
100%.
time down the floor. LJ Cryer is 6'1". The smallest player on Duke's roster is 6'5", 230. Sion James.
It's a problem.
They're gonna go at him.
Again, you saw it in
LJ's
Alabama, like,
got to show up.
Listen,
LJ's got to be here to
It's gonna
guard.
be a hell